Hola motherfuckers, and welcome to my video on gender expression. There are some key terms and ideas that you might need to grasp in order to get the best out of this video. First of all, gender and sex, not the same thing. Gender, sex. Gender, sex. Trans or transgender are people whose gender and sex do not correlate. For example, female to an XX body and male to an XY body. Cis or cisgender are people who identify with the gender that is associated with their sex. Dysphoria. This is a feeling that most trans people suffer from, and it's intense negative feelings or discomfort towards typically gendered parts of one's body. That's the basics. Now let's move on to the complicated stuff. So I'm going to cover three main ideas: gender identity, gender roles and stereotypes, and gender expression. Let's go from the top. Gender identity, yo! This is how a person self-identifies, and often how they also like to be seen by the people around them. So say you have identified yourself as a gender, you may want the people around you to also see you as a gender. The spectrum of gender identity is diverse and infinite. It encompasses binary gender, which is male or female, and non-binary gender, which can be neither, both, a mixture, or can fluctuate as often as a person's mood. Cisgender people don't often realise that they identify as cisgender because many cis people are unaware that gender is an identity and not a fixed binary characteristic based on your anatomy. Gender roles and stereotypes. I look like Justin Bieber. Pink and blue. Pink for girls, blue for boys. This is an example of cis-normativity to an extent, and this is the idea that it is normal to be either a boy or a girl. Within cis-normativity, trans identities don't exist or aren't considered when people are unnecessarily gendering certain objects. Like that one time Bic released special pens for women that were pink and purple and had an easy to hold grip. Gender roles are a strong aspect of our society and are often imposed on us without even realising and without people doing it intentionally. From birth, when you're assigned either boy or girl, people dress you accordingly and give you toys accordingly. And say you see a baby in a little pink outfit, you're more than likely to assume that that baby is a girl, when if you took two kids and you dressed them both in a white outfit, people would have a hard time distinguishing which one was the boy and which one was the girl. Babies just all look the same. Stereotypes surrounding gender can be very strict. Stereotypically, it is considered feminine to do ballet and masculine to play video games. Girls are submissive, subordinate and gentle, whereas boys are dominant leaders and powerful. Colours, activities, personality traits, clothing and everything down to the way you move can be stereotyped as being either side of binary gender. Gender expression. Gender expression is the way you choose to express the gender you identify with. You may identify as female and choose to express that gender in a very stereotypical feminine way. You may be non-binary, leaning more towards feeling masculine, but you might like to express yourself through both masculine and feminine things. You may even choose to completely ignore the ideas of gender roles and stereotypes and shop as if the word boy and girl doesn't exist and that clothes aren't designed specifically based on a stereotype and sized on a stereotype. you might just go out and buy what you like. Gender expression is a reflection of your personality, what you enjoy, what you like, what makes you happy and what makes you comfortable. I guess I could understand the viewpoint that gender expression only exists because society genders everything. Otherwise, I guess I would just call it self-expression. The point of this video was to emphasize the separation between one's outer appearance and their gender. A person's gender is theirs alone to define and then express. Personally, I was born in a body that the doctors and society dressed in pink and labelled she. The way I identify as is male, and because of my own personal experiences with dysphoria, I feel as though I want to medically transition to feel more comfortable in my body. As for my gender expression, I like to wear stereotypical masculine clothing, suits, dark colours and stuff. But when it comes to my interests and other things I like flower crowns, I like pink and purple and dyeing my hair a lot, and a lot of the things I like are labelled feminine. I feel as though that doesn't make me any less masculine because the things I like have nothing to do with my gender. I hope maybe some of this stuff has cleared up the difference between gender identity, gender roles, gender stereotypes, and gender expression. This has been a huge mouthful. Sorry if some of it was confusing and a bit disjointed. Let me know down in the comments below how you feel about your gender and your gender expression, whether you think that your gender expression reflects your gender identity very clearly, or whether you think maybe the way you express your gender doesn't stereotypically reflect the gender you identify with. It's so confusing. Ah, you fat bitches. Also, do you like my hella new rad wall thingy? It is my wall of rainbows. It's cute.